Ukraine today is talking about the tragedy of Malaysia Airlines Flight MH17 with extraordinary and plenipotentiary Ambassador of Malaysia to Ukraine, His Excellency, Mr. Chuah Teong Ban. Mr. Ambassador, welcome to Ukraine today.
Thank you for inviting me here.
Mr. Ambassador, first of all, let me express the condolences to the entire Malaysian people for this terrible, terrible tragedy. Mr. Ambassador, last year when the news came in that Flight MH17 disappeared from the radars, a second flight which happened that year with Malaysia Airlines, what was the reaction of the people? Could anyone have ever imagined that two airplanes of a single airline could have had such a terrible incident in the span of some 5 months?
Well, thank you for the condolence on the loss of lives of Malaysians as well as 10 other nationality. For the airlines of Malaysia Airlines and the government of Malaysia, it came as a shock for us. We did not expect that we have a double jeopardy. Once we have a beginning of the year, we had the MH17 disappeared totally from the screen and until today has not been found. And again, on July 17 last year, again another plane disappeared. So it is something that is unbelievable. A fate of such magnitude is happening to Malaysia Airlines and the government of Malaysia. But the people, victims, next of kin of the family in Malaysia in particular, they are all very saddened, they are all very shocked, they are extremely distressed over such killing of people that is not due to any technical fault, but due to some external factor that has happened, that has caused the plane to come down. And that is something that is, we believe, is the act of human being and not the act of God.
Mr. Ambassador, last year, the Malaysian search and rescue team was on the crash site much earlier than the Dutch investigators. And this is something which the Dutch people, the people of the Netherlands criticized the Dutch government for not being able to negotiate the access of their investigators to the crash site. How did the Malaysian government manage to do that? How did you manage to negotiate access to the crash site for your search and rescue team?
Well, we decided that after 2 or 3 days of inaction from all the parties that we are unable to go in, we have to do something. So we decided that one of the best things is to go in and talk to them, because Malaysia is far away from the geopolitics of this region, and we believe we are neutral and impartial. So we have gone in that respect of a very basic objective of a technical objective is to, and also a humanitarian objective is to get the body out and the black box as our top priority. And we went in and impressed upon the people that we are not here to play politics, we are not here to take side, we are here to take side on the humanity side. And it is through humanity we ask for their compassion, we ask for their cooperation, that if they don't do it, it will be a bigger burden on them and their conscience, that they are not helping humanity.
I understand you're talking about the fact that the Malaysian government negotiated directly with the separatist leaders, something which the Ukrainian government was obviously not happy about, and something which the Malaysian government was under high criticism in the media for going behind Ukraine's back. How do you respond to this criticism?
Well, I think in the first place, we did not go in just like this. We have been asking from them, from the government, that we want to go in, and they say, no, it's too dangerous, and they cannot guarantee. So we say that if we want to go in, what shall we do? And there was, in one of the meetings, we heard that he says, well, you can go in at your own risk, because that is the risk that the journalists like you and all who have gone in, they are taking that risk. So that is why we go in with that risk, because we believe if we don't do anything, it will be much more bigger cost to us because this is our second airlines that came down. And if we do nothing like what people has alleged on the MH17, we will be under bigger pressure and under bigger political pressure from Malaysia and from the next of kin all over the world. So we acted on it. But I must stress that we did not negotiate with them. We talked to them. We did not sign any paper. We did not recognize them. But we only appealed to their human face, a humanistic part of their of them, of the terrorists or the rebels.
Mr. Ambassador, just last week, Malaysian government filed a proposal with the Security Council of the United Nations to set up an international tribunal to prosecute those responsible for shooting down the Malaysia Airlines Flight MH17 over eastern Ukraine. And just today, a report came in that countries such as the Netherlands, Ukraine, Australia and Belgium are joining Malaysia in this request. Obviously, this is something which Russia isn't happy about, and Russia already announced that it will veto this decision. So do you see any potential for setting up any international tribunal to bring those responsible to justice under international law? We're not talking about individual claims by the family members, by the families of the victims, but on the international arena. Do you see any room for that?
For the International Criminal Tribunal, it is not Malaysia that is the only one that take credit. We actually work as a team, and we have discussed and explored the possibility of all options. And one of the most effective options is the International Criminal Tribunal. To be set
but
up.
Mr. Ambassador, this is something which Russia said they will oppose, and they will.
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. So therefore, Malaysia being the only member of the joint investigation team that is a member of the as a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, we are able to table them, and so therefore Malaysia is actually tabling on behalf of the joint investigation team, including the Ukraine side here. And as with the regard of that tabling, we have circulated the first draft, and I believe the Russians has made some comment, but I don't think you are right to say, very right to assess that comment as a veto. They did not use the word veto, but they would say many ways, but they did not say that they are totally rejecting. They are opposing to it. And I think that is to be fair on the language. As a diplomat, I analyze it that way. And I believe that the good news is the Russians has not come out to say veto. And it means that we are still on the same page on seeking justice, because the Russians have also voted on the 2166 about a year ago, which talks about investigation to find out the culprit. And the criminal tribunal that we have proposed is nothing new. It is just an extension of the 2166. Instead of investigation, we have to go a step further in the mechanism to prosecute. And so therefore, the criminal tribunal is still on the justice path, but to prosecute. And if we have done investigation and done no prosecution, then there is no closure, and there is no need to have the investigation just for the record. So therefore, I believe that the Russians we can talk that to them, sit down and negotiate and find a language that is amicable to them, where we can still pursue justice for humanitarian purposes.
Understood. Well, Mr. Ambassador, it looks like there is still some hope for justice in this case. Mr. Ambassador, many thanks for coming to us and talking to us on this very important issue. This was Volodymyr Sulhub for Ukraine Today, together with the extraordinary and plenipotentiary ambassador of Malaysia to Ukraine, Mr. Chuah Teong Ban. Despite the fact that we extended our invitation to the Dutch ambassador to come and talk to us, our initial invitation was rejected by the Dutch embassy. We really hope that the Dutch ambassador to Ukraine will reconsider this and come and talk to us about this terrible tragedy. Thank you for watching us.